Good Monday evening to you. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you for joining us. The Kentucky Office of Drug Control Policy released a report last week showing a nearly 15% increase in drug overdose deaths in the state last year. The report said more than 72% of those deaths involved fentanyl. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox details a local sheriff's experience when exposed to the deadly drug.
A routine pullover.
Passed a vehicle that had a male driver and a female passenger, and I recognized the female passenger to be a female that was a wanted fugitive with 2 warrants.
Turned into a dangerous exposure.
At the time I was bringing her out of the car to cuff her, I noticed she was fiddling in the seat, real fidgety. There was a cellophane wrapper from a cigarette pack that had a powder-like substance.
That substance turned out to be fentanyl, a drug the CDC considers to be 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine, and a main cause behind overdoses in Kentucky.
They had a fan, a round circular fan on the dash that was blowing. I guess it was hooked up straight into the car battery or the cigarette plug. And once I brought that wrapper up, because it's a little S10 truck, I'm bent over in it. Once I brought that wrapper up with the substance in it, I felt the fan get particles and blow on my face and my left nostril area.
Sheriff Steins proceeded to call his deputy's office and dispatch so they could pick up the suspect while he drove to the emergency room. Steins said while he was nervous, his vitals checked out fine.
The ER staff here at Whitesburg ARH done a fantastic job. They took wonderful care of me. They monitored all my symptoms.
And he recommends taking the same precaution for anyone exposed to fentanyl.
If you suspect that you have came in contact with a legal substance or a narcotic substance, go to your ER, and if it's there on scene, be sure to call us.
The sheriff said the suspect has since been charged. In Letcher County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, the sheriff also said to keep Narcan on you to protect your body from exposure. Well, a 4-year-old boy and his parents are dead after a crash. The Carter County coroner says the father missed a stop while driving and ended up going over an embankment into a creek near Carter Caves State Resort Park. The car landed on its top in the creek. The 11-year-old son managed to get out and flag a park ranger for help. The only survivor is the 11-year-old son. The coroner says all bodies have been sent to the medical examiner's office in Frankfort. In Laurel County, William David Burke is facing several charges after a disturbance complaint. Burke has been arrested for several charges, including criminal mischief, burglary for unlawful use of a credit card, and more. The incident happened 11 miles south of London. Deputies in Laurel County received a complaint after a man kicked a garage door. Deputies noticed he had outstanding warrants and consumed meth. Burke was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. Eastern Kentucky has a long history of successful country musicians. Noah Thompson winning American Idol is just one of the most recent. And before hitting the big stage, Noah and other players played the stage at one of the region's newer venues, Alley on Main in Paintsville. Jordan Pelfrey owns Alley on Main and manages the careers for a few of the region's brightest young stars.
Yeah, I'm proud of these guys and what they've accomplished. And it means a lot that I can help them spread their career or get them into different markets. And so people can hear the story of Appalachia and our style of music.
Pelfrey manages Luke Trimble from Eastern Kentucky and fellow Appalachian Scott Smith. Both will be performing in New York City next week.
The good news is humid conditions haven't quite filtered back into the region yet, but we are still dealing with a mix of sun and clouds out there, and some areas continue to see more clouds than sun. Outside right now from our front door here at WYMT, we're still looking at blue skies, but some of those clouds continuing to work through the region. A little further south, some of those clouds working out from our Buffalo Mountain camera in southern Perry County, sitting at 82 here in Hazard. Upper 70s in Jackson, and same thing up in Moorhead, where we've had a few more clouds. It's still in the 70s across the Big Sandy, but they've been flirting with 90 across portions of the lakes area this afternoon. Dew points have been in the 40s and 50s, so it's actually felt, well, quite nice around the region. We're not dealing with that mugginess, so even though it was 88 in Monticello, with a dew point of 48, it felt much cooler than that. Pinpoint Doppler, we're still watching just a couple of showers, maybe trying to reach the ground into portions of Lawrence, Johnson, and Floyd counties, but not quite making much of a difference, especially with the dry atmosphere we have out there. We're all quiet as we run through tonight, but we'll continue to watch the potential for those showers, especially out east. Upper 50s and mostly clear tonight. I'll have the very latest on how much warmer we get this week and when we could see a return of a few showers coming up in just a few minutes. Dakota?
All right, Evan, thank you. A lot of people are still without power in Mingo County in West Virginia after last week's storm, and while there's a bunch of crews trying to get everything fixed, it's a slow process. Still, there are people who have been without power since Friday, and they're just ready for it to come back on. An Appalachian Power spokesperson says there are a lot of outages, but every time they fix one, it only restores so many people's power at once. During the summer months, more people are outside, and especially in downtown areas. It's not uncommon to see people walking to their desired destinations, but with more people walking near roads, the risk of pedestrian-related incidents also increases. Our Alyssa Williams has more on how you can stay safe.
In the U.S., a pedestrian is killed every 84 minutes in a roadway-related incident, as stated by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
You need to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
With the weather heating up and kids out of school, more people could be out near roadways, and health and safety experts are reminding everyone of the necessary precautions to stay safe when out walking, running, or biking.
Even if the pedestrian has the right-of-way, I was taught a long time ago, he who's biggest has the right-of-way. A pedestrian versus car collision is not going to end well for the pedestrian.
Scott Lockard with the Kentucky River District Health Department says to be mindful of where you choose to walk.
These country roads that are narrow, especially around curves, may not be the best place to do so. So is there a safer place to get in that quality exercise?
And James East with the Hazard Police Department says if you're out at night, you can help avoid a roadway-related incident just by what you wear.
Get some kind of an armband or some kind of a jacket that's got highly reflective material on it so that drivers can see you.
Helping to equip pedestrians with a few tips to avoid harm this season and beyond. In Hazard, Alyssa Williams, WYMT, Mountain News.
Well, Deputy Chief James East with the Hazard Police Department says it is important for parents to discuss pedestrian safety with their children, whether they are walking near roads or even playing in their front yard. Kentuckians can visit a new office in Pineville for a full array of driver's licensing services, regardless of their county of residence. Services include insurance renewal or updating driver's license, learner permits, commercial driver's license, and identification cards. Credentials are available in either standard issue form or as a real ID. Well, drivers also have the option of a 4-year or 8-year credential. Other regional offices are in Jackson, London, Manchester, Moorhead, Prestonsburg, and Somerset. More offices are planned to open soon. Governor Andy Beshear announced a $203 million investment for broadband expansion today. Governor Beshear says it is part of an effort to close Kentucky's digital divide. Beshear said the investment will be divided into 46 grant awards to 12 internet service providers and local governments spanning more than 30 counties.
High-speed, reliable internet is not just the infrastructure of the future, it's the necessary infrastructure right now. It's just as important as roads, bridges, and today is a key part of our plan to build a better Kentucky, and it'll be critical to the success of our state's economy and to future job creation. Healthcare, jobs, education.
Well, the infusion will deliver reliable internet to more than 34,000 Kentucky families and businesses. Beshear says he thinks it ranks as the single largest provision of funding for high-speed internet in Kentucky history. Medical marijuana has widespread public support across the Commonwealth. The bill to legalize it was introduced, passed in the House, but it died in the Senate. To keep the idea moving forward, Kentucky's governor created a group to study medical marijuana. That group met for the first time today. Jeremy Toms summarizes what happened in that meeting.
Today, the Team Kentucky Medical Cannabis Advisory Committee convened for the first time in the capital city. Co-chairs Ray A. Perry and Kerry Harvey explained that this committee will offer Kentuckians a direct line of communication to the governor's office.
It's time to advance this debate. 37, 38 other states have acted on this.
Perry and Harvey say Governor Beshear wants to hear the opinions of as many Kentuckians as he can on this issue, no matter where they fall on the matter. Harvey says it's too early to discuss if Governor Beshear could take executive action.
Frankly, we all know that executive power is not unlimited, but neither is it inconsiderable.
But he hopes the information they gather is useful to both Beshear and the state legislature. They acknowledged medical marijuana has received strong public support.
Medical cannabis enjoys widespread support of Kentuckians, whether they're Republicans, Democrats, or independents.
But the committee co-chairs say it's not a partisan issue. Rather, their focus is on medical care. And it's a committee Perry says Kentuckians deserve.
What we're talking about here is a doctor's ability to work with their patients to prescribe the best medication and treatment they have to offer. And we think the citizens of the Commonwealth deserve to have this.
That was Jeremy Thomas reporting. Medical marijuana is legal in about 3/4 of the country as of June of this year. 38 states have made the change, as reported by the World Population Review. They include several of Kentucky's bordering states like Ohio, Virginia, West Virginia, and Illinois. There has been work in the U.S. Senate on a bill to legalize marijuana here in the U.S.
Well, warmer air is on the way back to the forecast. I've got the very latest coming up next. Plus,
and both an anniversary and a birthday are being celebrated today in Pike County. Stay with us.